I had a lot of feelings about had a lot of feelings about that abortion debate. I think initially I was confident going in because I watched this video and then I'd kind of like I'd been reformulating a lot of my arguments. And then when he introduced himself, I got kind of nervous. I didn't realize he had a did it say he had a master's in philosophy and theology and biology? Did I make that up? Or he had like 3 different master's degrees or something. And I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, oh God, I'm about to get crushed. And then, wow. I felt like I've tightened up my abortion argumentation pretty well. Yeah, I thought it was going to go a lot different. There's one thing that I need to get a better analogy around. He had hella books and papers in front of him. Yeah, but he didn't reference them ever. I'm so happy I got to flip around that book on him, like halfway through the debate. Holy Jesus. I feel like that was a lot of fun. Sure, but I'm just asking, like, what did the two cell thing look like again? I like the book. Yeah. The zygote. I want to see the thing.
Sure, of course.
Okay. So a woman that takes Plan B to get rid of maybe something like this would suffer the same legal penalty as a woman that murders her 5-year-old child. Show me the 2 cells again. That thing. Wait. Can you open to the page with the 2 cells again? Can you show that one again? Oof. That was a that was a good one. There's one thing that's really hard to explain. We went back and forth on it for a while. I need like a snappier analogy for it. I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh, it might have been like, oh, I remember what it is. The lesser forms of conscious that like babies have, I guess. Like it's something that I need to figure out a way to tighten that up. But yeah. I will say something that I realized, I got really scared because I realized that he was going on his TikTok rampage is when he had like that 10 different questions that he wanted to ask me for his TikTok clips. I wouldn't be surprised he's already made them.
So I have a few questions then. Would it be wrong to cause a healthy fetus to become permanently unconscious?
No.
Okay. So would it be wrong to cause this permanent unconsciousness to use, let's say you could keep growing the fetus into an older body, to use it for organ harvesting, maybe as a kind of sex doll even?
As long as it never became conscious or didn't have the faculty?
Never became conscious.
Correct.
Okay. Related question, but we'll circle back soon. What are your thoughts on fake pornography using AI or virtual images?
Fake child pornography. I'm not going to have a strong opinion on the action itself. It's going to be consequential in nature in terms of like what are the impacts of doing it. So say you create a bunch and people stop actually abusing children, I'd probably be in favor of it. Say you create a bunch and it leads to an increased harm of children, I'd probably oppose to it.
You have a practical objection, not an in principle objection.
No, they wouldn't be like a no. Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's like, this is what he thinks. Would you infinitely rape a corpse with no brain or a human baby, blah, 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 like over and over and over again. But then, so I started to jot down questions as we were talking. I was like, okay, well, I need to have like killer questions to ask him. I should have prepared a list in advance of like, these are the questions I'm going to machine gun out at you in order to like look good, I guess. That's what we're going to do. And I managed to think of like 5 or 6 that I thought were absolutely catastrophic. I can't believe he wouldn't answer any of my hypotheticals. I feel like that was pretty wild. I feel like I'm still trying to figure out like what's an appropriate amount to like push into somebody or not, because I leaned in a lot to like answer this answer. I think I did 3 times on most of them where I'm like, you're going to answer this, you're not going to answer it. But I feel like if I keep doing it, I feel like it makes me look unhinged. But I think I did enough that time. But yeah, the Petri dish question, yeah, that was brutal that he wouldn't answer that one straightforwardly. The Petri dish one, would you charge a woman with double homicide? He wouldn't answer that one straightforwardly. That was really brutal. I had the piece of paper in my pocket and I lost it in the airport, but I'd written down 6 questions on that. I'd written down 6 questions on a piece of paper and I just kept going between those. The I complained but I answered was funny as I think the audience was either. Well, I literally watched because he said, "Oh, that's when I started to wonder about the bad faith thing." With him not answering my, he wouldn't answer any of my questions. And then he's like, "Well, you didn't answer my questions." Like, motherfucker, I'm watching you check mark the questions. And then I asked him after that because I was really upset that he said that. He's like, "You didn't answer my hypotheticals. Which of these hypotheticals on the piece of paper did I not answer?" Because I answered every single question you gave me, and he didn't answer any of mine. He didn't answer a single one of mine. I wish I didn't lose that piece of paper. I don't know how I did. I dropped it in the airport somewhere. The suicide one, jump off a bridge. Oh, yeah. Would you make it illegal to commit suicide? He really didn't like that one. And then him trying to say that, like, oh, well, should I write these down? Hold on. Actually, let's see if we can remember these. There were 6 questions that I'd written down on a piece of paper. Let's see if you guys can help me. Oh, I remember the other one. Oh, hold on. Would you mandate keeping 64 cell organisms alive for as long as possible in a petri dish? That was 1. Charge a woman with double homicide if she aborted twins. That was 2. 3. Would you make it illegal in all forms to commit suicide? I remember 4. 4 was, would you mandate a criminal, it has to be, a criminal investigation for every single miscarriage? That was such a good question. Oh my God, that was a brutal question. And you wouldn't answer it. That was a really good one. I think I had 2 more questions. I don't remember the other ones. But anyway, yeah, I'm really upset that he didn't answer. He didn't really engage with any of my hypotheticals. Would you paternity test every baby on birth? I don't care about that. Oh, there might have been the one. Would you keep persistent vegetative state people alive forever? Oh, yeah. A 20-year-old who will never wake up on a feeding tube for 55 years. He said yes to that. That's true. Don't forget his bad faith steelman of you. Nobody can ever steelman the other side's arguments. My steelman of his argument was so good. He was such a good steelman. Fuck it. I shouldn't say fuck the guy. He was nicer than most, but I still feel like he was not moving with intellectual curiosity. I feel like he was running for my hypotheticals. Destiny, he responded to number 3 with yes. Would you make it illegal in all forms to commit suicide? No, he did not say that. His answer was, I wouldn't be in the business of judging who's allowed to live or who's allowed to. He wouldn't answer that with a straight question. Because that's why, because I hit him back at the end and I was like, you are making that judgment by saying nobody's allowed to do it. You're mandating people to stay alive. His response every time was like, well, I wouldn't ever be in the business of saying some people, he wouldn't know. Yeah, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't respond to that question directly. Or maybe he did, but if he did, it was after like 10 minutes of finally getting there. But he did that with a lot of them too. Like even with this double homicide thing, his answer wasn't like, yeah, she would get charged with double homicide. His answer was, well, different reasons why, there are lots of reasons why somebody killed somebody and maybe some blah, blah, blah. Like he starts bringing up like aggravating and mitigating factors and it's like, oh, well, hold on, that's not relevant to the question. Like, yeah. I think it was good faith, but he stayed away from areas that would destroy his worldview. Yes, so that I thought about saying this at the beginning, but I didn't want to start off on a bad foot. I think I'm going to dramatically change my approach to all debate.